I'd like to call the Livingston County Board meeting of Thursday, May 16th, order at 6 p.m. We'll have the invocation by Pastor Jan Ambrose, please.
Let's bow our heads for prayer. In Psalms 91, verse 1 and 2, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. Father, we come before your throne this night in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, to declare that in you alone we place our trust. Also in Acts 17:28, we declare, for in you we live and move and have our being. We ask that you fill this room with your Holy Spirit's power to lead our faithful board of directors in your perfect will for your glory. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Ambrose. We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Craig Monson. Roll call, please, Alina.
Vietti.
Here.
Haig.
Here.
Fair.
Present.
Manker.
Present.
Barrickman.
Here.
Ambrose.
Here.
Fannin.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Monson.
Here.
Mays.
Here.
Weller.
Here.
Vitzthum.
Here.
Lackard.
Present.
Earring.
Here.
Welch.
Present.
Carly.
Present.
Level.
Here.
Ritter.
Present.
I'd like to move to approve the agenda. I do want to make one addendum to the agenda. Under presentations, there will be a B, and we're going to recognize the people who helped serve during the recycle day. So
Moved as amended.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Ritter, second by Blackard. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. We'll move to approval of minutes. You should have those in front of you. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting in a second.
So moved by Earring.
Ehring, moved by Ehring. Second by Haig. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We'll move down to 2 presentations. We have a resolution of respect for Board Member Mark Runyon. I would like to come down there. I'd like to have his wife come forward and family members if they want, and we'll read this resolution. First of all, I want to thank you for being here. This is Mark's family, his wife, and we got a grandson here and his children. And I want to read this resolution of respect in memory of Mark Runyon. Whereas the citizens of Livingston County have sustained a great loss in the passing of Mark Runyon on February 27, 2024, and whereas it is the intent of the Livingston County Board to honor his memory and to publicly acknowledge his many contributions and public service to the citizens of Livingston County, Illinois. And whereas Mr. Runyon was born in Ironton, Missouri on July 29, 1960, the son of Edwin and Fern Stanfill Runyon, Mr. Runyon was a 1978 graduate of Fairbury Cropsey High School, was employed by the city of Fairbury for over 44 years. And whereas Mr. Runyon was proud of his service on the county board and often commented on how he had served on every committee on the county board and looked forward to the day the chairman of the board would be required to read each and every one of them aloud as his resolution was presented. Excuse me. And whereas Mr. Runyon served on the Livingston County Board from December 2008 until his death, serving on the following committees: Administration, Ag and Zoning, Elections, Finance, Highway, Information and Technology, Insurance, Personnel, Public Health, Public Property, Sheriff, Jail and License, and Veterans Assistance. So he got his wish. Whereas Mr. Runyon is survived by his wife Teresa, 3 sons, Justin, Jonathan, and Jordan, and a daughter, Jennifer Shove. And whereas Mr. Runyon was courteous and helpful to all individuals to whom he conducted business, and this board and the citizens of Livingston County, Illinois, realize the loss we have sustained with his death. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Livingston County Board at its May 16, 2024 meeting that we and each of us hereby make this public expression of our sincere appreciation of the faithful services rendered by Mr. Runyon to this board and to the citizens of Livingston County. Our deepest sympathy in his passing. Be it further resolved that this resolution be publicly read in open session of the county board and spread upon the records of these proceedings of this board, and that the clerk be directed to present a copy thereof to Teresa Runyon and to each of Mr. Runyon's children, passed by roll call vote this 16th day of May 2024, which we'll do the roll call vote in a moment. So we've got, I'm going to hand you that, and then there's a resolution, the same for each one of you, for you and for each one of the children. You want to say anything, Mrs. Runyon, or more than welcome to? Or you can, you want to say something? You don't think you can? Okay. So everybody got one, didn't they? Why do we have an extra? One sign. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And again, I'd like to thank the Runyon family for being here. And we really appreciated Mark's service. Okay, he was a great addition to this board, and he served the county well. So thank you very much, and you have our deepest sympathy. Thank you. Okay, we will need a motion.
I'd like to make that motion.
Motion by Fannin, second by Craig Monson. And we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Vietti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Absolutely, yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Lovell.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Motion carries. We're going to move to B now, and so to recognize the people who served in helping on the Recycle Day, I'm going to call on Board Member Paul Ritter. So, Mr. Ritter, could you take it from here, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to invite our representatives here of the students who participated in our Take-Back Day. Our Take-Back Day has been extremely successful, but it wouldn't be what it is without the hard work and volunteerism that we've had from our students. It has been a privilege to be able to watch not only our environmental science students who are dual credit with Heartland Community College and Pontiac High School, our computer maintenance program students, and also the students of the Scouts. These amazing kids put forth not only a lot of energy, but also displayed the characteristics and qualities that we look forward to seeing. Courteous, kind, helpful. They lived up to every word of not only the Scout motto, but give great pride to Livingston County as to what our future holds. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll let you go ahead and read the resolution.
I don't have a resolution.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
So
thought there was-
you're going to have to wing this, please.
I would say this. These kids are amazing. Our Livingston County Board, the people and the community members of Livingston County, they owe a great deal to their hard work and energy. Each year that we get 4 semis worth of recycling lines that are of great length, they make it happen. They make it work. The community and the county board members who come out and help, these kids jump right in. And so with that, I'd like it to be known that our future is in great hands. Yes?
My name is Orion Ruiz, and this is Jacob Meyer, and mine? Oh, yeah, Lane, sorry. We have too many Jacobs. Yeah, Jacob Lane, and my father, Daniel Ruiz, and that is all who is right here with us right now.
What's also exciting is I've had the privilege of having 2 of those people up there, and one of them isn't the Jacob, although I wish I had him. I had Orion's dad in class as well, and it's very clear to see that our students are amazing, and it's a privilege for what I get to do every day, and I'm deeply indebted. I'm a better person because I know these kids, and I'm thankful for that.
Thank you, Mr. Ritter.
Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Ritter, for handling that. Now we'll move to consent agenda. We have A, B, and C. We have approval of the bills. We have appointments of Dr. Andrew Jordan, DDS for the Livingston County Board of Health and TB Board, Rodney Baylor to Fairbury Rural Fire District, Greg Yoder, Fairbury Rural Fire Protection District, Jeff If, Farmland Assessment Review Committee, and Bill Flott, Livingston County Zoning Board of Appeals. Under C, we have acceptance of the decennial reports from Belle Prairie Township, Illinois Central College, Pleasant Ridge Road District, Pleasant Ridge Township, Pontiac Rural Fire Protection District, and Forest Public Library. I think we can do all those in one, so if...
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Flott, second by...
Level.
Oh, Lovell, excuse me. Yeah, thinking I got Flott on my mind. Okay, motion to approve by Lovell, second by Gina Manker. Roll call, please.
Vietti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller. Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We'll move to the action agenda. Committee reports. We'll start with Ag and Zoning. Gerald Ehring, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got several action items here in front of us tonight. We're going to start out with approval of a decommissioning plan for Vermillion Solar Number 2 LLC. It has all been gone through committees and been approved. And I would take a motion for this. Motion by Haig. Second by, who was that down there? Ritter. Any discussion? Becca?
I just have a question for Brittany. So the findings of fact that we were given in ag zoning were not signed and approved, but they are now,
Correct.
and there were no major changes to those.
No.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other? Roll call, please, Elena.
Vietti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Fitzdum,
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Earring,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
Level,
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Thank you. Action item B, zoning case SU-3-24 and V-2-24 Snyder Airport. They've all went through committees again and all been passed. Do we have any motion to be
Chairman.
made?
Before we begin, the resolution, third paragraph down, additional documents included in the review of this proposed solar farm.
Solar, we're on a airport.
I know. In the resolution itself that was sent to us, it says solar farm.
But this isn't a resolution. We're on B.
But he's saying A was wrong. Worded wrong.
It says, whereas the applicant has requested approval of a private use airport in an AG agricultural district, the applicant submitted the documents as part of their application. Additional documents included in the review of this proposed solar farm special use included a Livingston County. So I'm just saying there's a typo in the
Oh,
resolution.
There we go.
thank you for bringing that up. You see that, Elena?
And, no, I don't have it in front of me, but I will make note of it and make sure it's corrected. Thank you for pointing it out.
I'll make a motion with approved changes.
Motion by Ritter,
Second.
second by Marty. Discussion?
Yes, I
Yeah.
just ask that you explain what that's all about, not for them to have an airport, but it was
He's
a
putting it-
variance on,
He's putting a grass airstrip in. With the variance, we're not gonna have, whoops, sorry. He's putting a grass airstrip in, and there's a variance there that, in the county rules back a long time ago, that they wanted trees along the side and all this. Well, we're not pushing that, because it's not, that's a part of number 2. And I don't think I have anything else to go with that, do I, Brittany, if I remember right?
No, you're right.
All right.
There's the fencing and there's the living buffer requirement.
Right,
but the living buffer is no longer required because FAA is not
correct.
approving. it.
right.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. All right, roll call, Elena, please.
Vietti,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Manker,
Yes,
Barrickman,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fannin,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Monson,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Weller. Yes. Fitzdum,
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Earring,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
Level,
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
All right, item C, this is a resolution requesting text amendment update, which is an update, for tourist home. We have updated our standards from what they were years ago to the new state standards for the Airbnbs to make it better for them. So it's all went through all the committees, been passed, and we have wrote the resolution for that. Have I had a motion for this? I'll make,
I'll make a
motion.
motion by Joel?
I'll second it.
Second by Lovell. Any discussion?
I have another housekeeping thing, I'm sorry. But on the kennel, tourist home, and the RPC commission, where it says be it further resolved, it refers to the Ag Zoning and Emergency Services Committee. If we could take off that emergency services, since we no longer, we've changed that. Thank you.
Is this the one we corrected?
Is there a motion to change the,
I'll make the motion with accepted changes.
Second.
thank you, Ritter and Joel, thank you. Any more discussion then? Thank you, Becca.
You're welcome.
All right, roll call, Elena, please.
Vietti,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes?
Manker,
yes,
Barrickman,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fannin,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Monson,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Weller. Yes. Fitzdum,
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Earring,
Yes,
Welch.
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
Level,
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is item D, resolution requesting text amendment for the kennels. We did the same thing with the kennels. We updated our county policy to meet state standards. And it's went through all the committees, and I think Becca's already gave us the correction on that one too. Is there any motion for approval?
I'll move as corrected.
I'll second.
Becca, you got those, Elena?
No, I did, is it
We-
Blackguard and Fair?
Yes, yes. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please, Elena.
Vieti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller. Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackguard.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Okay, item E, resolution requesting text amendment for the Regional Planning Commission. This is also went through all the committees, and I think we had one change from Becca there. You have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved by Ritter,
Second.
second by Haig. Any discussion? No discussion? Elena, roll call, please.
Vieti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
No.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
No.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackguard.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
All right, thank you. We're on F now, resolution text amendment for the airports. This has went through the committees, some changes, some rules on the airports and stuff. And do I have a motion to approve? Moved by Haig.
Weller.
Weller, second. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Elena.
Vieti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackguard.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Okay, we're on item G, ordinance, Regional Planning Commission. This has went through the committees too. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
By Joel,
Ritter.
second by Ritter. Discussion? No discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
Whoops, go ahead, Gina, sorry.
Can you explain that a little bit?
I'll let Brittany kind of explain that a little bit.
What,
We're on G, ordinance Regional Planning Commission.
it was a change, right? Correct?
What?
A change?
Correct. So, the it just changed some of the things that the RPC is gonna change, like they're not gonna see the larger, or the smaller, solar farms, some of the smaller special uses.
I think it was anything under 2.5, is that correct, Elena?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is the ordinance that outlines the duties of the RPC. If you remember correctly, there was some inconsistencies with prior resolutions that dated back to 72 and 73,
Yes.
which they thought maybe were adopted based off grants that were available at the time. This puts into place what we were currently doing. The other resolution was the one that indicated that they would no longer review solar farms. Basically, it just said that they would review them over 6 megawatts.
All right, that's right,
So
thank you.
this isn't where the change is.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Does everybody understand that? Okay, motion, are we at that? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and roll call.
Vieti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller. Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Gearing,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
Lovell,
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Okay, we're on item H. We got report as needed. I got two things here. Number one, I really want to express what Paul talked about earlier, all the help we had on recycling day. I'll tell you what, these kids are great. They're our future of our county. They're helpers, they're leaders. I appreciate all the work. Number two, I'm going to turn it over to Brittany here. She's going to talk about an upcoming event that's going to be happening in the county here next month. Brittany, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, so the wind farm that we have coming in, our RPC meeting is going to be May 29th here in this room, at 7 o'clock. And the ZBA will meet June 17th and 18th at 6 o'clock here again in this room.
That is for Heritage Prairie
Heritage Prairie.
in the northeast section of Livingston County.
Who is the developer on that?
Gosh.
Connect Gen is one of them, and, no, dang it, what's the other one?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Pattern,
Pattern?
yes,
Thank you.
Pattern and Connect Gen.
May 29th was the RPC and the
ZBA is June 17th and the 18th. 6, the RPC will be 7 and the ZBA is at 6.
This will be the hearing for the Livingston County part, because it also goes into Kankakee County too. All right, thank you, Brittany.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you for your report. We'll move to Highway Committee. Steve Lovell, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Basically, Clay's getting up there. We've got some letting results, some agreements, joint agreements with the state, and a quarterly report. Clay?
Yes, so the letting results, we had a box culvert that was being let with Belle Prairie Township. It went to H.J. Apple. We have a project in Efforts Point Township, and that went to Toby's Construction. So those are our two letting result projects. That's located just off of the Weston Road on 1000 North. The other one is a local agency federal aid agreement. This is for a bridge being built in Nebraska Township, and on 400 East, about a little over a mile south of 116. And the other one is the joint agreement for rehabilitating the approaches to the Odell overpass. And that one also includes a resolution for local participation on that. The last item was the quarterly report. So,
Anybody got any questions on any of this?
Move to approve all 4.
I'll second that.
No questions? All in favor? Okay, we got a roll call it.
Vietti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller. Vitzthum.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Lovell.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
I think that concludes our report for the night then. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Clay.
Thank you, Clay. Thank you, Chairman Lovell. We'll now move to Sheriff, Jail, and License Committee. Bob Weller, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee met on Monday, May 6th at their regular meeting time, and we had a few items to take care of. We had a request and approved a special use permit for Wildflower Road, which is, I guess you would call that a mobile licensed beverage business. We had a liquor license application for Lucky Strike Gaming Outpost over in the Streeter area, and that was approved as well. We had the monthly department report from the sheriff. We also had the monthly jail report. I might note on the jail report, we're running pretty steady on our out-of-county guests at our bed and breakfast over there that the sheriff runs. But our Livingston County count is up a little bit, so we had a daily average population of around 154 for the month of March, so that's up a little. We also had a recognition. Jail Superintendent Lisa Draper recognized our federal liaison nurse, James Pulliam, who's been with us for 12 years, and he is a great asset to the county. He is I guess you would say he is the new guru, or the guru, the only guru of the Federal Marshal's Services. They're using a new system to log all medical information for inmates. And Mr. Pulliam is basically the backbone of that system. Due to his diligence and efficiency, he has made our district 100% compliant. And I might add that other counties are coming to him to have him help them become compliant. So we've got the #1 dude in this area. And thank you, Sheriff. Keep that guy. So we're real happy about that. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, we had a raffle license that we approved for Futures Unlimited, and that would conclude my report, except for one more thing. It is with sadness that we report that our old friend Jack Arnold, a longtime Livingston County Sheriff's Police and friend of many of us, has passed on. So we offer his condolences to his wife Nancy and the family. That concludes my report.
Well, we'll need voice votes on both A and B.
You got 2 action items.
So moved.
Motion by Ritter,
Second.
second by Blackard. So I think we do them separately. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is A. So we'll take a voice vote on that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll move to B then, and we'll need a motion for that and a second.
So moved.
Second by Barrickman.
Motion by Ritter, second by Barrickman. We'll take a voice vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chairman Weller. We'll now move to Finance Committee. Marty Fannin, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a couple resolutions tonight. The first resolution is a salary schedule amendment. Ginger done a fantastic job in basically looking at Livingston County and the jobs that are Livingston County and did a comparison to those to what our staff is making, which in turn led to the salary adjustments of the salary schedule. So if there's any questions, Ginger's here. I gave you the abridged version of it, but Ginger's here if you have any questions. Hearing none, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Maker, second by Earing to approve. Roll call.
Vietti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Earing.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes. Second, we have a resolution approving ARPA purchase of public safety training and props for the Livingston County Mutual Aid Program. We had some extra money in ARPA funds, and they had made a request to us. And these are training tools that will be used by the fire departments. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Earing, second by Ritter. Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Vietti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fannin,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Monson,
Yes.
Mays,
Present.
Weller,
Yes.
Fitstum,
Yes.
Blackard,
As one who was trained by Lieutenant Tim Murphy, I absolutely say yes.
Earing,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
Level,
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have.
Thank you, Chairman Fannin. We'll now move to Public Property Committee. John Vitstum, Chair.
Mr. Chairman, first of all, I announce that our FRP will be released Monday for the new roof on this historic courthouse.
Yeah, good.
Awesome. Took us a while to get there, but we finally got there.
Yeah.
Second, I got a resolution to accept a bid from 4D Construction and approval of the project for the drive-up facility for the health department. I'll make a motion for that.
I'll second it.
Who's the Airing second?
Are we doing discussion on this?
Discussion on that, yes.
Is Jackie here to talk about how the health department's gonna use that?
She's not here. Her
Daughters and
Aaron is. Jackie's, I'll just announce that Jackie's daughter had a baby girl, I believe, today, and so she's not here tonight, but fortunately, Aaron is here, and she's going to come answer any questions. Thank you, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. So this is a drive-through vaccination facility that we're gonna put there, correct? And is there any other use other than vaccinations that this is gonna be used for?
I was going to say, this is really intended to not just be used for vaccinations, but for any sort of mass distribution. We have a number of different agency partners. For example, Salvation Army. They were very excited at the prospect of us having a drive-through facility available here in Livingston County. For example, if we were to ever have tornadoes, things like that, where we need mass distribution of food, water, this would be a perfect opportunity to get people in and out quickly as possible. In addition to vaccines, if we ever needed to do mass treatment, for example, if we had, mass chemical exposure, for us, we have a mandate to try and make sure that we are able to reach all 36,000+ Livingston County residents within a 48-hour period if we needed to get meds out quickly. So not just for vaccinations, but for a number of other reasons in there as well.
And I understand a lot of times with vaccinations, you want to observe the patient for 10 or 15 minutes afterwards. How does that work when we're shuttling them through in a vehicle?
Sure, so that actually depends on the vaccine. COVID was unique in that because it was a newer vaccine. Flu, we don't have to do that. A number of other vaccines, it's not typical to have that wait period afterwards, but we are always creative in the ways that we are able to accommodate that. So for example, if we did have to do a 15-minute wait like what we did during COVID, we do have that availability with that back parking lot that's currently available next to the old IHR building.
Do you intend to use this for flu vaccines, or is this just for large vaccination events, i.e.
No.
COVID?
Yeah, flu vaccines. I mean, every and any opportunity that we would have to use this and share this with all of our agency partners as well. This really isn't an asset just for Livingston County Health Department. This is an asset for the county as a whole because we have a number of agency partners that would really like the opportunity to have a mass distribution site.
Is this something that other county health departments have? I've never seen or heard of this before.
Yeah, so I actually, whenever I was sharing this information with Salvation Army and they were sharing their excitement at the prospect of this, the head of that group there is actually over from LaSalle County, and she said, we have a very similar setup over there. She said, but they use theirs for water distribution all the time. They've got a water machine set up in it, and so different ways that they were using their building on a day-to-day basis, that would be an option down the line.
And so I haven't seen the plans for this, but I mean, all those different uses in mind are being considered as a part of the design process on this building. Do we have design drawings for it yet, or is this just?
We have some. I don't have them. I don't have them with me tonight, but we could probably make that.
Flexibility has been kept in mind in the design of this, I would hope.
Correct.
I think that was in our packet, Joel. I don't know if you saw it or not.
See it now.
Okay, well, if you want to check, you'll see it.
But we all get that.
Seth, you got a question?
Yes. Thank
Thank you. So you have a mandate to reach 36,000 people in 48 hours. How do we do that today?
Today, we get creative with that. I will tell you, COVID really put us to the test and had us thinking creatively. As I shared with Chairman Haig earlier whenever he visited us, I can tell you where our current drive-through possibilities are, and none of them are ideal. We used all of those during COVID, and they served their purpose at the time, but not without a lot of creativity in how we had to adapt those spaces in order to best make use of the options that we had available. So, yeah, I hope that answers that question. Does that answer that?
Rebecca?
Yes.
Having been involved in working with municipalities for setting up for emergency shelters and things like that, and working with the Red Cross on that, any food or water distribution, we were told, has to be in a climate-controlled environment. So this building has no heat and no air, and is that correct?
That is my understanding. That no, this is strictly for drive-through purposes. I will say, I think if push came to shove and we needed to very quickly get food and water out, but I can't speak to Red Cross's mandates.
But Salvation Army says that you can keep food and water in a non-climate controlled area?
I don't know that they're saying, I think it's the idea that there would be the possibility for us to reach large populations to get people in and out as quickly as possible, should we have an emergency in that case where we had to reach a number of people quickly.
I presume
So
this wouldn't be for long-term storage there. You'd be bringing it in and immediately moving it out, correct? I mean, you wouldn't be storing any food and water there.
No, we would not be storing any. We don't store any
Yeah.
food and water
It would
currently out
be
of the health department.
very hand to mouth. I would expect you bring it in, you hand it out, and that's it.
Yes.
So this building as it's presented won't really be highly useful for a lot of things unless it's really upgraded in the future?
I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true. The building in its current form is really what we had initially asked for. We just needed a structure to allow our staff and our residents to receive the services that they need in an environment where we're not always battling the elements. I had a volunteer stop out earlier who had volunteered with us during COVID, and he helped work our parking lot whenever we were doing vaccinations in the old LCHD building there. And he was sharing how frustrating it was because our pens kept freezing during that time. And we were just trying to figure out how can we just get individuals to sign papers without them flying across the county, and because it was during inclement weather and freezing cold conditions. And while our staff, I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for our staff because they really go above and beyond to try and be as accommodating as possible. But this would give them the opportunity, not just for our staff, but for our residents, to best be served in a spot where they won't be battling the elements in that capacity.
So OSHA will allow you to send nurses out there in inclement weather without heat or air conditioning and work? Will they allow that?
Yes, yeah, we currently do that. For example, for our flu clinics, we go out to all of our rural communities. We know and recognize that we serve the fourth largest geographical county here, and so it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we take those services out. But having an option where we can have a large population come through and be served and be regularly served, for example, during flu season, making that available on a regular basis where we would have that drive-through option would be awesome.
Is it just one drive-through that's going to be on this, or is it multiple, or?
Two lanes.
2 lanes.
4 doors, 2 to the west, 2 to the east, and a lane, two lanes through there. Mr. Haig.
I'd just like to thank you for giving me a tour today and explaining all this. It really put me at ease with my vote tonight. I really think you guys do an outstanding job out there, and I think there's a lot to offer.
Thank you, Chairman Haig.
One last thing, was there any other alternative uses for this area discussed? I mean, we're using up valuable real estate here for the county.
I'm going to ask, Mr. Baum, can you come up here for a minute? I think you and I talked about this. There is the opportunity, I think you said, where the sheriff's department could use this some, if I understand that right. I think they'd rather hear it from you than me.
So, we have discussed this. So we have been fortunate enough, we've got a truck and a trailer that we use for our P2D2 program. They are very nice pieces of equipment. We don't have any storage at our facility where we can put those indoors. We've discussed the option of when this isn't used, we would be able to store our truck and trailer in there to get it out of the weather and out of the sun.
And I think you said that there could be an opportunity when you had to search or go through some vehicles, rather than do it in inclement weather or along the side of the road, you could have them done in there too?
That as well, if we had access to it. Occasionally, we have cars stopped when the weather's not so nice and we need to search vehicles. It would be fantastic to be able to come in out of the cold and out of the rain and have a spot where we can actually take our time, properly search a vehicle in a safe environment, as opposed to doing it on the side of the interstate with cars flying by us in bad weather. It's not always an option, but it would be great to have that at our disposal.
Could that also be done at the new highway building?
If they have room. I haven't been through the highway building, but yeah, we absolutely could do that in the highway building if they had room.
They would probably have to move more equipment in there if that came up at 1 o'clock in the morning or something. That's the only thing we talked about in a committee meeting.
We've used our Sallyport at our office. The only downfall to Sallyport is if we tie it up, then if someone comes in custody, we have 2 lanes of traffic going through a 1-lane road, so we struggle with that. So it would be nice to have an off-site facility that's secure that we could use.
Rebecca?
When was the P2D2 truck purchased?
I don't know the date of it. Anybody know what year that was purchased?
Ritter? I believe that was in '21.
Yeah, it's a couple years old. It's a very nice piece of equipment.
Very expensive.
And the trailer, I believe, was purchased the next year.
That was in '22.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Bill?
I got you and, State's Attorney? Kind of gonna put you on the spot here.
Sure. Oh, he's
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm not.
Microphone, Bill.
Sorry. He tells me to ask you.
Sure.
You're doing a great job. I'm not arguing the point of if this would be good or not. I just want to know how the funds are being used legally. I've printed all the paperwork, and I have yet to see anybody show me where it says we can use it for the P2, where we can use it for storage. Anything other than like the COVID-19.
Sure.
Okay, so vaccinations, I'd be okay if it was just vaccinations and all, because that's what this whole program was set up for. So to get us through the COVID stuff.
So you went through the paperwork and you can't find where it says we can do that?
No, we can't. Here you go, man.
No, I'm asking a question, Bill. So you went through the paperwork and you,
Yeah, explain to me where.
that it says you can do it or can't do it?
I want to know where it says you can do it.
Where does it say we can't do it?
Alina, you got
It says COVID-19 through the whole area here.
Okay.
So I can ask where it says you can do it.
Where does it say that you can't do it?
You tell me where it says you can't do it.
You read it, I'm asking you.
Okay.
Alina,
Mr. Chairman, can I jump in here? Because
Yeah,
I think
yes.
that.
Please do.
I don't know that Aaron has specifically worked on this grant. The 2 individuals that primarily worked on this grant were myself and Diane. We've spent an extensive amount of time reviewing the grant documents and familiarizing ourselves on what is and isn't allowed under this grant. And I think that I mentioned at the last committee meeting that there were several ways that this would qualify. And I don't know if the state's attorney provided you a full copy of the details that are there, but basically, and I mentioned to you before, that the final rule that was issued through the Treasury indicated that anything under $10 million could be considered loss of revenue. And so because the county only received $6.9 million, they were allowed to claim 100% of that as lost revenue. Now, any of the lost revenue could be used for any governmental purpose, any governmental purpose. In addition, When it talks about capital expenditures within the grant, it specifically says that grant expenditures under $1 million do not require pre-authorization from the federal government. Even
They
when
still
we
need to
take
follow
the
the rules.
more stringent rules that were outlined by the federal government, we meet this requirement in multiple different ways.
Okay, I'm just asking you to show me. That's all I'm
Okay.
asking.
And
I printed out his 603 thing you sent me. That took me an hour or so trying to figure out where that was, and I still cannot see anything in there that says you can do this.
Okay,
That's
Bill.
what I'm asking is,
I'm happy to review
show
those
me.
documents with you. I've highlighted them for the state's attorney so he can review them, and he gave you an opinion that he
This
agrees.
highlighted one here, it says, capital
Bill, I
investments
can-
in
I can
public
tell you that
facilities to
those
meet
grant-
pandemic operational needs. We are no longer in a pandemic.
Bill, those documents are about 500 to 600 pages long. You can't
Okay.
pick and choose
Show
what's
me
in
where
there.
it says this.
And I will. Would you like me to do that right now at this very minute?
I've
Because
been asking
I've
for a
told
week
you
now.
that it's allowable under this grant. Diane
Okay.
has told you that this is allowable under this grant. The state's attorney has told you that this is allowable under this grant. What more would you like?
Show me. That's all I'm asking. All I hear is people telling me it's allowable. I'm just asking you to show me. Everything in here I'm
And he
reading is
handed
saying
you
no.
a document that specifically shows, is this
Where?
facility a governmental purpose? Did the state's attorney hand you a document that included highlights that indicated that it was the final rule from the Treasury? Yes or no?
You hand me a document?
The document that you have in front of you that is, indicates it's the final rule from the Treasury, did he give you that document earlier?
It's the final rule. That's
The
all it said.
final-
The final rule.
But those are the guidelines for this grant, and if you look in there in the highlighted areas, I've showed you
I'd
exactly.
be more than happy to sit there and listen and go
Okay.
through this with you. But right now, we're in the middle of a vote.
Let's, Mike, do you have anything you want to say, or do you just want to stay out of this right now? Mike?
He's already said his word to me, so you're
Yes.
fine, Mike.
Call the question.
Where are we at? We have a motion and a second, I don't know where we're at.
We're still in discussion. Still in discussion. We have a motion and a second, yes.
Motion and a second, we're in discussion. You got a question, Linda? Okay.
Whenever.
Go ahead.
Linda,
We
you
ain't
got a
getting
question?
No.
Okay,
no.
Marty?
Yeah.
I have to stay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're
but- Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we did the second round of ARPA, did we not make accommodations for extra funds for this, or am I wrong?
We did not allocate them at the time. There were other things that we did approve as part of that. We said we would see where we ended up when we modified the documents, because if you remember correctly, the first RFP that went out resulted in a bid that came in over $900,000.
Correct.
We weren't going to recommend or accept that bid. We needed to modify the documents and get that number down, and that's what we did.
Okay,
But yes, it was entertained at that time.
okay.
Linda, do you have a comment?
Yes. Okay, tonight, I'm voting no on the resolution to use the ARPA funds to build a drive-through, just not for the reasons that most would expect. I do have my doubts that it's a need, not a want, but that's not why I'm voting no. I don't agree with some who have stated and others who seem to think that this is free money. It's taxpayer money that is borrowed and that will have to be paid back by someone. But that's not why I'm voting no. In this month's property meeting, Chairman Carley stated that this building may have many uses down the road other than for the health department, such as storing the P2D2 truck. It's also been mentioned as a polling place. I'm really not against all of these things that it could be used for. State's Attorney Regner has said there is precedence to build it for one purpose and under a set of federal guidelines and then use it for other purposes. So regardless of other possible uses, Mrs. Deaver said at this month's property meeting that this stripped-down shed is exactly what she wanted. I hope so. In addition, I hope the new health director, you, feels the same way since Mrs. Deaver is retiring this summer. I think some on the board will be reluctant to put a lot of upgrades in at taxpayers' expense. In the end, I'm voting no on the drive-through resolution because it's been somewhat of a budgetary shell game or a sleight of hand budget trick to fool some people, whether it be the board members or the public, as to what this building is going to cost, what its real need is, and what it's going to be used for. The first bid came in around $1 million. Many extras not asked for were legitimately taken out. The next bid came in around $750,000. To me, this is the price that most likely what a usable building will cost by the time we put back in some needed amenities. You talk about how their hands were freezing. You're going to have a building with no heat in it. Their hands are still going to freeze. Your pins are still going to freeze out there. Whoever's in charge of this project still wanted to get it to the $500,000 the county had budgeted from ARPA funds. I'm not sure why, other than to change the optics as to what they wanted to present. We will not have a usable building for $500,000, or in the resolution tonight, $552,000. And we will have to spend considerable money to get it up and running. On a sheet that we had gotten from, I guess it was photocopied from 4D Constructions, some things that are not included that were cut out this last time to get it below $500,000. Permits and fees other than the building permit. Well, we have to have those. ComEd and natural gas hookup fees. I've heard that it's over $20,000. Footing and stem wall foundation. I have been told that we're going to use a cheaper method that should be as good. With the problems with the Law and Justice Center, I wouldn't be taking any other suggestions other than what the architect or engineer did with the problems we've had with that building. You know, it just seems like we should follow that. I know they have said we could have cheaper lights and they would do the same job. That's not such a big deal, but to me, footings are. There's no building heat other than the baseboard in the bathroom. There's only one interior room, and that is the bathroom. We will have to have related work to hook up this to the generator at the Health and Education building, or put in a new generator in this building. Interior liner panel. To me, I guess that says insulation, spray foam or something. There's no data or internet-related work done on it yet. You have to have access controls on doors. Gas detection equipment and controllers specified by the engineer. Again, we've chosen a cheaper option that's going to be manual, I guess, instead of automatic. And again, shouldn't we follow the recommendations for the safety of the people, that would be an automatic thing. But so to me, there's a lot of things that have to be added back in. Why is the committee or who's ever making the decision to put out this idea not being transparent, saying that to get a functional building, we're going to have to spend quite a bit more? I attend most meetings. Why did we just find out this month about some extra funds going in? If you want board members to embrace these ideas, why not be forthright through the whole process? That's what I object to. Most important, we need to be transparent with the taxpayers. In my opinion, which is not worth much to some, but as an elected official, I get one. This transparency did not happen. This is why I'm voting no. The people are not getting the building they think they're getting, and we're trying to tell people that we're getting a functional building for $500,000, and we're not. So that's why I'll vote no, not for the uses or anything like that.
Any other discussion? Either one of you two. I didn't see whose hand went up first. Seth, you want to go first?
There we go. Several board members and staff have said over the past several months that this drive-through was already approved by a previous board. And we were given 4 documents to look at regarding these statements a couple hours prior to the property meeting last week. And one of the documents was the resolution number 2021-11-62, which showed it was unanimously approved by the county board at the time on November 10th, 2021. This resolution reflected that the unanimously approved budget for this building was $500,000. This approved $500,000 budget is also reflected in the spreadsheet, which shows how much of the funds were dispersed and to whom. The budget we are now looking at to approve is $552,000. Now, there are some county board members that have expressed that $52,000 is a drop in the bucket and it's free money. I, however, have a different take. The email from State's Attorney Regner, and I want to thank Mr. Regner for sending that out. I just think it's too bad that he wasn't asked for this, to send this out to us months earlier, because I think that would have helped out in many of these discussions that have been had. It showed many startling statements from the federal government regarding the qualification changes that went from COVID to the recent ones. I take very seriously the responsibility as a fiduciary of the funds the county received to stick to the previous unanimously approved budget for this project. I'm not sure why, but as mutual aid has done here tonight, a second request to raise the budget for this project wasn't done after the first bid or the second bid came in way over the budget for the project. The spreadsheet showed that prior to the mutual aid request, there was over $100,000 left in the ARPA funds. I did reach out to a couple previous board members that voted for this in 2021 to get their take on it, and I was told $500,000 was the amount requested, and it was understood the building was approved at the budget of $500,000, quote, lock, stock, and barrel, end quote. On another note, I've been contacted by over 40 constituents in all 3 districts over the past week, almost 2 weeks. All but 2 asked me to vote no for various reasons. One of the 2 that said that they would be for this changed her mind and asked me to vote no because this wasn't the type of building she thought it should be because of its limited use for public health. I have one question regarding the use of the building, and I will yield my time, and that is, who is in charge of making a decision on how this drive-through is used outside of the public health uses stated? Nobody knows?
Seth, you got a question? I don't have an answer for that.
I don't have an answer either to that. I just have a statement.
Pardon me?
I just have a statement.
Okay.
All right, absolutely, we should support investments where there is a need. The board has done exactly that with personnel salaries, the public safety complex, the law and justice center, the health and education building, and the highway maintenance building, just to name a few. Those were investments that were worth both the immediate, the short-term, and the long-term costs because of the services that they provide and the amount of folks that they touch, either directly or indirectly. It's my opinion that our job here is to make sure that the money that we invest touches the most people possible, and more specifically, the most people who need it. And to me, this facility doesn't meet that requirement. So here are my objections, and there's only 5, so it won't take long. Number one, some of our most marginalized communities are on the outskirts of the county, which you mentioned. We're one of the largest counties in the state in terms of geography. Will those folks, and these aren't questions, these are just hypothetical, will those folks that truly need services offered by public health benefit from a drive-through shed that is 20-plus miles away? Do they have the means, like time and money, to actually make it here? Number 2, statistically, the Livingston County Public Health Department vaccinates less than 10% of Livingston County's population, and that is in line with the national averages, so my hat's off to you. But even according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, most Americans get vaccinated at their local doctors or pharmacies or even at work. Are we willing to allocate $550,000 plus on less than 10% of the population, especially when folks aren't even asking for it? It was mentioned during committee this last week that this could be used as a central command, which you touched on earlier during emergencies. And to go on my point, can this not be done with the $7 million building that was just built for public health, or any of the other state-of-the-art facilities that we have, that we are fortunate to have here in the county? Are we truly doing a disservice to our constituents by not having this facility? Number 4, our maintenance budgets have increased substantially, as it does with more capital investments and growth, and that's not my complaint. But all facilities have immediate costs, they have short-term costs, and they have long-term costs for things like maintenance, energy, manpower, additions, and subsequent modifications that will be asked for. Every month, the property committee meeting minutes are filled with necessary yet unexpected repairs, and that is in addition to the repairs that we've planned for. These repairs are occurring in both new and old facilities. Consider how much this facility is going to cost year 2, year 5, year 10, year 20, year 50. And that's on top of everything else that we're paying for and investing in. It's been said already, it's ARPA money today, but tomorrow it's going to be Livingston County taxpayer dollars. And last and most importantly, has there actually been a call from residents to make the services offered by the Public Health Department more convenient? I haven't heard it. I've had conversations with constituents for 2 years, and I haven't heard it. The idea that constituents will appreciate the convenience of a service is an assumption. I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate the opinions of those who think we need it. I appreciate the Public Health Department and the work that they do, and I appreciate the administration's attempt to reduce the project's cost on paper to make it more palatable for some of us. But no matter what way I look at it, this drive-through facility is a prime example of government creating a need where there is not one. Had I known this day was eventually coming, I would have voted no twice before. But I voted yes, full transparency. But I will vote no tonight. I encourage my colleagues considering a yes vote to reconsider. We have time, we have resources to determine a better fit for this ARPA money, and as the state's attorney or anyone, I can't remember who pointed out, the parameters on how we spend it has loosened up, which gives us even more opportunities to give that money to more people who need it. I recommend we consider allocating that money towards broadband, mental health, giving it to public health for various other projects, local nonprofits, and of course our veterans. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I got a question either for you or Alina. As I sat here and thought about Rebecca's question, I think we as a county board probably have the say-so over how the buildings are used, if I'm not mistaken.
It depends on.
Am I answering your question right here, Rebecca?
Well, like when people want to use this room, it is up to this county board to give them permission. I think people have asked to use it for weddings, I don't know what.
So this board sets the standard, and so anyone who wants, and it depends on which building we're talking about. Definitely for this building, definitely for the health department, and will be for the drive-through as well. So this board will set the standard, and those things will be arranged through our office, through the public health department, but ultimately you guys will set the guidelines.
Thank you very much, Alina. I
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
No
Did we get that answer correct? Okay. Okay, any other discussion?
John,
Oh,
I'd just like to encourage all of you to weigh very carefully before we build another building. It's not free. It's going to cost taxpayers down the road. And I'm very careful about any time that we're expanding the scope, the expense that we're going to lay on taxpayers in the future. And I haven't had any constituents say, yeah, this is something we really want. I have had people call up and say, a drive-through vaccination clinic, really? Just please vote very carefully before we expand our government bigger.
Gina, do you have your hand up?
I did, and I just want to say I've changed my mind twice on this thing. But tonight, sitting here listening to everybody's opinions, and previously, before tonight, listening to others' opinions, I've changed my mind again. I hate to see this thing delayed again, but I do not want to see this building built without the heat and air that I think it should have. That's the only thing. But I do think that there is multiple uses for it, and I think it could be needed in the county. And we're saying there's not a pandemic right now. No, there isn't. But what if there was one next month, next year? You know, we'd have multiple uses for that building. Thank you.
Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Vietti,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Fair,
No.
Manker,
No.
Barrickman,
Yes.
Ambrose,
No.
Fannin,
Yes.
Myers,
Absolutely no.
Monson,
Yes.
Mays,
No.
Weller. Vitstham,
Yes.
Blackard,
No.
Earring,
Yes.
Welch,
No.
Carly,
Yes.
Level,
Yes.
Ritter,
Yes.
Eleven ayes,
7 days.
7 nays. Motion carried.
Okay. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Vitstum. We'll now move to Rules, Legislation, Veterans and Community Services Committee. Jack Vietti, Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. First thing on the agenda, we have a action item, intergovernmental agreement with Veterans Treatment Court. We need a vote on that. I will move and make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, I think this is a voice vote, is it, or it's roll call then. Roll call, please.
Vietti,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Manker,
Yes.
Barrickman,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fannin,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Monson,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Weller. Vitstham,
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Earring,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
Level,
Yes.
Ritter,
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Ritter?
Yeah, I also want to add, Mr. Vietti, a special thanks to the Veterans Community Services Committee also. We just had a ceremony for a gentleman who passed away in 1919, and for whatever reason, as a military veteran of the Civil War, he never ever was issued a military headstone. And so as a result, our students at Pontiac Township High School ended up getting him not only his much-deserved headstone, but they set about and told me that they wanted to have a proper ceremony for, if he had not received a headstone, he would not have received a military burial. And so, as a result, not knowing what to do and how to do it and where to go and who to call, I reached out to our committee, and they made that happen with all the amazing veterans. Also like to say thanks to Mr. Fannin for being a part of the Honor Guard in that process. It was clearly a very special day, but it would not have been what it was had it not been for the help of all these amazing people, these veterans, these individuals who gave this person from this day forward the opportunity to be not only recognized instead of just a bare piece of ground, but also to forever have a flag placed upon his grave. Private William Clark, I think about how, for whatever reason, it didn't happen, and these people made it happen. And so with that, I want to say thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ritter. Appreciate that very, very much, and that is my report, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Vietti. We'll now move to Information Technology Committee. Gina Manker, Chair.
The IT committee did not meet this month, but we will be meeting in June. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Manker. Administrative Committee, I just have one thing to announce, that the Connect Illinois Broadband Grant was approved for us, so that's a big deal, and we're glad that happened. Other than that, I have nothing else to report. So we'll move to public comment. Public comment, if somebody wants to speak, you'll have 3 minutes. We'll do for each individual, and we'll have 30 minutes overall. So does anybody on the board have any public comment first? If not, I'll move to the general public. If you have public comment, you're welcome to come up to the speaker, to the microphone here and speak.
I'm here with an update on CO2 legislation.
There's a couple of bills that are in play.
You want to just state your name first, Julie, so we know? We know you, but
Sorry,
it'll be
Julie
helpful.
Fosdick,
Thank you.
14530 East, 1300 North Road, Pontiac.
Sorry to interrupt, thank you.
That's okay. There are several bills in play in the legislature. One of them is a moratorium on CO2 pipelines. And it would require that the PHMSA federal safety regulations be in place before ICC can grant any permits. And also, it would require that the state task force put together a formula for determining setbacks from these pipelines. It looks like PHMSA is not going to include, they didn't address setbacks in their previous rules, and it looks like they're not probably going to have any in the new rules that are supposed to come out sometime soon. And there's no place in the state that has it, so that leaves that, that the county could have setbacks. In terms of setbacks from a well, McLean County pulled a number 1,500 feet out of the air. And I want you to think about that because the One Earth Energy pipeline that will be in their county, if it gets approved, is a 12-inch pipeline, and it has 2.4 miles, is the longest distance between shut-off valves, okay? The Wolf pipeline that's proposed, and it's proposed to go across our Logan County farm, is a 20-inch diameter pipeline, and it's 20 miles between shut-off valves. So if you think about that, the volume of CO2 in those pipelines is like hugely different. One is like 100 times as much. But McLean County's ordinance would have the same setback for either of those pipelines. A scientifically figured out formula would take into account the diameter, the distance between those valves, the topography, and several other things. But that's fairly complicated because it involves some computer modeling that you would have to get experts to help you do. And so the reason it was proposed this way is that the state could get those experts together and come up with some kind of a formula to make this more reasonable instead of counties pulling a number out of the air. So I'd like to encourage you to contact your legislators and get them to support this moratorium so that we can get it passed. The One Earth Energy project is in consideration with the ICC, and the ICC only has 11 months from the time they get that application till they have to give an answer. They don't have anything to go on in terms of setbacks, but they get to approve siting. And that this fall will be the deadline for them to make a decision. Another condition that this moratorium could end would be that that we get comprehensive statewide legislation that covers all of these things on CO2, but I don't know that we can count on that getting out in this session of the legislature. Questions?
No, it's your 3 minutes is up though, Julie, okay? Thank you very much for your information.
Can I ask you a question?
You may.
Thank you. You said like 20 miles between shut-off valves. If one burst, we've seen that video of the 8-inch pipe. If one burst and you're 1,500 feet away, how long would you have before it gets real?
It depends on
The way the winds, I imagine.
and the size of the pipeline, how much volume is going to come out of there.
Right.
It also depends on atmospheric conditions. It depends on the topography because it hugs the ground. So if you're downhill, that is worse.
It doesn't really go away.
Not very fast. Not very fast because it's going to hug the ground.
So basically, if you had one,
if it was a very large pipeline, that would be, the one in Satarsha was a 24-inch pipeline, but the town of Satarsha was over a mile away. So, and it was uphill actually, so it's weird weather conditions, but, well, not if you're right in it. Nobody's going to rescue you, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your information.
Thanks for your update, Julie.
Is there anyone else that'd like to speak public comment? Come forward, please. State your name.
David Rice. First, let me say, I hope this doesn't count against my 3 minutes, but wow. I wish the entire county would show up to this. This was rousing debate. This was the sausage being made. This was democracy in action. I'm against some of your thoughts, but I applaud you, and I'm for some of your thoughts, and I applaud you too. This is the way it's supposed to happen. So nice job to all of you on that note. Now that I'm done groveling here, I will say, sorry, that I am, you know I'm against it, right? Because I emailed all of you, Jack. Sorry. Your plan to not hear from me is working perfectly since you don't have email. But the rest of you got it. I'm not against the health department having a drive-through. What I'm against is, and I really would have hoped that you would have gotten to table for some more discussion and data, right? Drive the decisions with data. This decision is all about emotion and anecdotal. Can anybody in this room, I know you're not required to answer, but I'll give you the opportunity. How many vaccinations does the health department give annually, on average? 3,000 in 1 year. Okay. Interesting. Okay. 3,000. So we have you voted for a 50-foot wide, 64-foot long, 2-lane building that may give 3,000 vaccinations. Maybe. Right? And I don't know, were the vaccinations at the health department or were they in the community? Big difference, right? There's like 15, 20 communities that get served in the county, thankfully. This whole discussion, nobody asked about the need, right? Anytime a department comes to you, because you have the power of the purse, I would like you as a taxpayer to make them demonstrate the need. We got to get away from emotions and anecdotes and things like that. The world's too expensive, and we are not in a good spot as a county. Again, I appreciate what you've done. Many of my arguments were the same as the people that already said no, so I won't rehash those, but I will say a couple of things. You did get guidance, right, that this was legal. I'm not a lawyer, right? I think you all know that, but I can read. 2021, the Treasury Department put the act in place, right? 2022, the executive director mentioned the final ruling, right? In 2022, the Treasury Department came back out with another final ruling, right? Why'd they do that? Because of abuse of the system, right? So they gave guidance on what was eligible and what was not eligible. 2023, they came out with a second final ruling, right? Only the government could have 3 final rulings, but the one in 2023 had nothing to do with health department or health facilities, et cetera. Here's what some of the excerpts from it. Expenditures should, for health reasons, expenditures should support eligible COVID-19 public health economic response. COVID-19 was officially over May 11th in 2023. That's what the Department of Treasury said. So this building, these funds are not in response to that. Furthermore, they said we could use this money for things like affordable housing, child care, early learning services, revenue, premium pay for employees. We could have used it for a lot of things since we had the money, but I don't know, right? Maybe we didn't have good reasons to or not. We could have, but the time has passed. COVID-19's over. We could have used it for water, sewer, infrastructure upgrades, et cetera. Back to health. It should support COVID-19 public health and economic response by addressing COVID-19. COVID-19's over. Once again, I know I'm being redundant, but also says recipients can use funds for program services or capital expenditures that respond to the public health and negative economic impacts of the pandemic, which is COVID-19, which is over, should respond to that. There's nothing to respond to.
Dave, you're going to have to wrap up because your time's up.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Thank you. So, and I appreciate it, but I'm going to take a little bit extra time because this is important. You have put the taxpayers on the hook potentially, but not all is lost. This body follows Robert's Rules of Orders. Any motions deemed to be a motion on anything that's illegal is void. I do not believe, I know that you've got guidance under $1 million, we don't have to report it. That does not mean we don't have to follow the law. Not being required to report it, I mean.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I stand here and I think there is, because you don't have to report it, there's likely a 99% chance you won't get caught. But there's a 1% chance you will, and you've taken us all down that path with you. I'm upset by that. So you can bring this back up for discussion later. You can open this back up. I would recommend you do that. I would hope you would do that. You don't have to follow through with tonight. Thank you for your time. And Julie, anybody else, just so you know, in 2014, Attorney General Lisa Madigan had a binding ruling that said no one is required to give their address to present to a county board meeting. So, thank you.
Anyone else, public comment? Seeing none, we'll move to item 8, which you have an executive session for some pending.
Make a motion to go into executive session pursuant to 5 ILCS 122C11 pending litigation.
Second.
Motion by Mays, motion by Fannin, second by Mays. Roll call, please.
Vietti. Yes. Haig.
Yes.
Bear.
Yes.
Manker.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose. Yes. Fannin.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes?
Monson.
Yes.
Mays. Yes. Weller.
Yes.
Fitzthum.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Knock her out.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Lovell.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a few minutes to clear the room, and then we'll go into executive session.